Join. Good. Kanakaraju, regular customer. Good evening. Oh, Akshat, Akhilesh Patel तो regular आता है. Very good. चलो, I'll take one more minute. Good evening all. Malleshwar Rao garu, oh, Prajwal joined. Shivam Verma. Good evening. Namaskar दोस्तों. Hope you are enjoying my classes. I'm fine. I'm good. Hope you are enjoying my classes. मैं ठीक हूँ बेटा. मुंडल जी, I'm fine. नमस्ते. प्रज्वल जी, ओके. फाइनली आपकी लव अटेंड का चांस मिला है. ओके. चलो, now we'll start. Let's not waste our time. I'm your Enthalpy from Delhi batch 2010. Okay. Did you find any changes in me, Arvind Patel? वैसे ही हूँ या कुछ? Okay, good evening. Chirag Patel, full, no change. Nickname given by you. Okay, Enthalpy नाम दिया था आपको? Very good यार. तो फिर फिजिकल मीनिंग देखना ही है एंथैल्पी का. चलो, कैसे आप लोग सब? होप यू आर फाइन. यू लर्न हिंदी सर? ओ माय गॉड, ये तो गजब है यार. मुझे तो हिंदी आता है. यू लर्न हिंदी? वेरी गुड. फुल थर्मोडायनेमिक्स कब स्टार्ट होगी? फॉर गुड थिंग्स यू हैव टू वेट. कनकराजू. चलो ना. Please tell me those who have already attended my earlier special classes. Namune waiting. Hope you are enjoying my classes. Honestly, you in a comment you tell whether you are following my classes or not, enjoying or not. थोड़ा बताइए. तो हम शुरू करते हैं. इसरार अहमद भाई, श्रीजा, जय सिंह, कौशिक. चलो, गुड इवनिंग ऑल. चलो, कल से मेरा क्लास आ रहा है. रेगुलर क्लास आ रहा है. सो दैट इज फ्लूइड मैकेनिक्स फ्रॉम 23rd of October. That is from tomorrow. I'll be starting regular class. It's not a free class. The way you are seeing this class, these are free classes, but from 29th, it's not free class. See, you are the best teacher I ever seen. Humbled. Thank you. I'll try much more better. गुड इवनिंग सर. ठीक है, चलो. तो कल मेरा क्लास आ रहा है शाम 8 बजे से. फ्लूइड की कितनी होगी सर, प्लीज टेल. मैं बोल रहा हूँ, आई थिंक 1 महीने में तो कंप्लीट नहीं होगा. तो आप 3 महीने का कोर्स ले लो. तो मैं फ्लूइड, सॉम और शायद थर्मो या HMT करवा दूंगा. 3 महीने का लेने से सही रहेगा. यू ट्राई टू टेक 3 months कोर्स. चलो ना. So tomorrow I'll be starting fluid mechanics. I'll inform you about my free classes. Sir, classes in English, please. Okay. First, I'll be teaching in English. Then I'll use Hindi. So you don't find any difficulty. Oh, many have joined. Demigod of mechanical engineering. No, re baba. God never commits mistake. I'm committing mistakes. So please don't compare. So please. थर्मो हो जाएगा ना सर 3 महीने पक्का. ले लो, आराम से कर देंगे. डोंट वरी. चलो now, let's not waste time. So in the last class we have seen certain psychrometric terms. I'm starting the class. Okay, in the last class we have seen certain terms like specific humidity, dry bulb temperature. Up now, please, it's a request, no more comments. Just learn the subject. When I ask you to comment, then you comment. In the last class, we have studied specific humidity. Can you tell me what is specific humidity? Yes, I'll tell you. My dear students, specific humidity is nothing but yeah, it is nothing but mass of vapor to the mass of dry air. Matlab, you take certain amount of moist air, in that there is some vapor, there is some dry air. So this ratio we call it as specific humidity or humidity ratio or absolute humidity. So I have already derived omega is equal to 0.622 into PV by P total minus PV, where PV stands for partial pressure of vapor and PT stands for total atmospheric pressure. If nothing is given in examination, I take the total atmospheric pressure. If nothing is given, I take the total atmospheric pressure as 1.013 bar or 101.3 kilopascal. Excellent. See, specific humidity represents the actual mass of vapor present in air. And I have also told you that in psychrometry, all calculations are based on fixed part. So which one is fixed part? Now you comment. Is it dry air or water vapor? Which one is fixed part? Now you comment. Which one is fixed part? Dry air or water vapor? Yes, dry air is a fixed part. Excellent. Now that's why we always express per kg of dry air. Now, what we do is we have seen dry bulb temperature, we have seen wet bulb temperature, we have seen dew point temperature. Please do not comment now. So we have seen dry bulb temperature, we have seen wet bulb temperature, and we have also seen dew point temperature. So quick revision. So if I take our TS diagram, my dear students, this is T and this is S, and we have seen clearly. Now, this point is your dry bulb temperature. This is my dBT. And you know that this is the partial pressure of vapor. So this is partial pressure of vapor. And we have seen that, anyone, what is this? Anyone, what is this? Anyone, what is this temperature? That saturation temperature? Excellent. Prajwal, excellent. This is the wet bulb temperature. And when you cool along this line, this particular temperature, you call it as this particular temperature, you call it as dew point temperature. Excellent. And for saturated air, dry bulb is equal to wet bulb is equal to dew point, and for unsaturated air, dry bulb is greater than wet bulb and wet bulb is greater than dew point temperature. Now today we'll see one more new term, that is specific humidity, sorry, relative humidity. Now don't try it. Relative humidity. Relative humidity. Everyone, I request you to see. When I derive the equation, and let me designate it with 5. When I derive the equation of omega, I made one assumption. Dry air and water vapor both can be treated as ideal gases. So it is something like mixture of ideal gases. The reason for calling water, or reason for taking water vapor as an ideal gas, vapor is never treated as an ideal gas, because if pressures are very high, like in boiler, if you go to Rankine cycle, boilers, thermal power plants, like the steam pressure in boiler, the steam pressure is about 180 200 bar, as the pressure is very high. So in power plants, we never treat the superheated vapor as ideal gas. But in refrigeration, air conditioning, as pressures are very, very low, so at low pressures, gases can be treated as ideal gas. So at low pressures, vapor can be treated, superheated vapor can be treated as ideal gas. In refrigeration, I mean in vapor compression system, actually, my vapor pressures are very low. That's why they can be treated as ideal gas. So now let's see what is relative humidity. Don't try it. Let us take certain moist air. Whenever I say moist air, there is a dry part, there is water vapor. Let MV be the mass of vapor and MA be the mass of dry air. Let the volume of this total system be V, and let its temperature be T. I repeat, there is some moist air, its temperature is T. ध्यान से सुनो, in moist air, dry air and water vapor, look at this dry air, let the temperature of dry air be, एक second, let the temperature of dry air be TA and the temperature of water vapor be TV. But they are in equilibrium. So they are at what temperature? Same temperature. And that normal temperature of air, I call it as what? Dry bulb temperature. So now I write this as TA is equal to TV is equal to T, and this is nothing but our dry bulb temperature. And you also know that vapor is spread throughout the volume, dry air is spread throughout the volume. So volume of dry air is equal to volume of vapor is equal to total volume of the mixture. Excellent. Now, this air I can represent on my TS diagram, but please note down that this TS diagram is not for dry air, it is for water vapor. ये जो डायग्राम है फेस चेंज, ड्राई एयर फेस चेंज नहीं होता है, वाटर वेपर का फेस चेंज होता है. So but you know that the temperature of dry air, the temperature of water vapor is same. That's why if I represent water vapor, means it is also the temperature of what? Dry air. So observe here, my dear students, let this be the dry bulb temperature. Please listen carefully, I'll give you complete meaning of this. So let this be the dry bulb temperature, and this is the partial pressure of vapor. So I write it as PV. Okay, now please observe. This state actually shows, I repeat, this point actually shows the condition or the state of water vapor which is present in air. Please note down that this is not the condition of dry air, it is the condition of water vapor which is present in air. But आप तो जानते हैं वाटर वेपर और ड्राई एयर एक ही टेम्परेचर पे है. ये होगा आपका I mean the state of water vapor in air. And you know that it is unsaturated. I repeat, this curve is saturated vapor curve. So my point is not on this curve. So I call this as, यहाँ पे जो air है, ये है unsaturated air. मतलब it needs that air can absorb some more amount of moisture. क्योंकि ध्यान से सुनो. Now what I do is, look at carefully, in the same volume and at the same temperature, let us add moisture. So now the question is, when you are adding moisture, that is vapor content is increasing. When vapor content is increasing, when you are adding moisture, the vapor content is increasing in air. That's why the partial pressure of vapor is increasing. So when partial pressure of vapor is increasing, this is the original vapor pressure. When the partial pressure is increasing, it should be above this line, But please note down that same air ko le lenge. What is the original mass of vapor? mv. Okay, now take same volume of air and at the same temperature, add moisture. You add moisture. Excellent. Now, when you are adding moisture, vapor मतलब vapor add कर रहे हैं तो moisture content बढ़ रहा है. When moisture content is increasing, partial pressure of vapor is increasing. That's why. But you know that you are adding at the same temperature. Please याद रखना, मेरे पास एक moist air है. I have some moist air. To that moist air, I'm adding some moisture. But what is the condition? In the same volume, I'm not changing volume, and at the same temperature. So when I say same temperature, all of you, my dear students, I should move. My air is here. When I say same temperature, I should move along this line. So along this line, I can move to left or right. But यहाँ पे you are adding moisture. When the moisture is added, water partial pressure of vapor is increasing. So now the point will shift from right to left. Please note down that when you are adding moisture, it is reaching towards saturation. When you are adding moisture, it is reaching towards saturation. देखो ये pressure देखना, please observe this pressure. And you know, my dear students, compared to this pressure is more. Why? Because when vapor is added, partial pressure of vapor is increasing, and the partial pressure of vapor is increasing compared to PV. This pressure, let us say PV1, is higher than PV. Now, you add moisture. How long it takes, my dear students? It takes until it reaches saturation. मतलब आप moisture को add करना, कहां तक add कर रहे हैं? Until it reaches saturation. And I write that mass as MVS. Now, please observe, my dear students. I write it as MVS. I write it as MVS. So now you draw a constant pressure line passing through this. So this I write it as PVS. Means at this temperature, I repeat, at this temperature, now you are adding same temperature you are adding, so I'm moving towards saturation. तो ध्यान से सुनना, ओरिजिनली मेरे पास मास ऑफ वेपर कितना था? MV. आप वेपर को ऐड कर रहे हैं, हाउ लॉन्ग? Until it reaches saturation. So relative humidity is defined as actual mass of vapor to the mass of vapor under saturation conditions in the same volume and at the same temperature. That's why when I said same temperature, I have to move along this. So मेरा ये air original था, ये है original, which I call it as unsaturated. Which I call it as what? Unsaturated. अब वो air जब moisture add कर रहे हैं तो किस तरफ जाएगा? Saturation. But why are you moving towards horizontal? Why are you moving horizontally? Because at the same temperature you are adding, so therefore at the same temperature you are adding, that's why it is moving towards saturation. तो कहां तक ऐड करेंगे? यहां तक. तो यहां का मास था MV और यहां का मास था मास है MVS. So here the pressure is PV and here the pressure is what? PVS. So relative humidity is actually defined as actual mass of vapor to the mass of vapor under saturation conditions in the same volume and at the same temperature. तो आप बोलेंगे ये क्या शो कर रहा है? It is actually showing moisture absorbing capacity. So what is relative humidity showing? It is showing moisture absorbing capacity. Now, my dear students, the same thing I'll show you. ध्यान से सुनो. So original mass of vapor is MV, and mass of dry air is MV, volume is V, temperature is T, and corresponding to this, the partial pressure is PV. And now you are adding moisture until MV becomes MVS. Dry air is not changing. Now PV will become PVS. But the condition is in the same volume and at the same temperature. So means originally this was the position. This is partial pressure of vapor. So this is original. So here mass of vapor is MV, the partial pressure is PV. Now you are adding moisture. How long you are adding? Until it reaches saturation. So now draw a constant pressure line passing through this. And this pressure is PVS and this mass is MVS. So specific relative humidity is defined as mass of vapor, actual mass of vapor to the mass of vapor under saturation conditions. ये भी वेपर है. Please look at this is vapor, this is also vapor, this is vapor, this is also vapor, and vapor is existing at low pressure. Therefore, for vapor, whether it is this condition or this condition, both are vapor. So I'll apply ideal gas first for this, next for this. So let me apply ideal gas for this. So PV is equal to MRT. And my dear students, when I start my thermodynamics course, I'll be telling you when I use ideal gas equation, the temperature should be strictly in Kelvin. I'll be explaining in second law. The Kelvin scale and ideal gas scales are same. That's why when I write ideal gas temperature, it should be Kelvin temperature. And I'll be discussing this P should be in absolute scale. We have gauge pressure, vacuum, absolute pressure. So P, whenever you use ideal gas equation, pressure should be absolute. All these I'll explain. Don't worry. ये हो गया. अब vapor को apply करो. So when I apply for vapor, PV VV is equal to MV RV TV. Now apply for this. PV is PVS, VV in the same volume I said. So एक second. यहाँ पे what I do is observe here. What I do here is okay. Now PV VV, but what is the volume? इसका volume क्या है? V, MV, RV, TV. But what is TV? Temperature of vapor or dry air is nothing but T only. So this is my, so I write this as, let me erase this. Okay, this I'll write it as PV is equal to MV RV TV. Here PV PV, but volume is V only. Volume is V only. Okay, now is equal to, my mass here is MVS. Don't write RVS, it is RV only. What is RV? Gas constant of vapor. It is R bar by molecular weight. Whether the vapor is saturated or unsaturated, whether the vapor is saturated or unsaturated, my molecular weight is same. So therefore, when molecular weight is same, R bar to constant hai, RV or RVS will be same. RV is because R depends on molecular weight. So whether it is saturated vapor or unsaturated vapor ka molecular weight 18 ही है. So therefore my RVS is same. Now in the at the same temperature you are adding, this is my T. All of you, are you following? All of you, my dear students, are you following? Excellent, excellent. Right. Stop. Yes, okay. Now, you know, my dear students, what is relative humidity? It is the ratio of mass of vapor to the mass of vapor under saturation conditions. So let us call this as equation 1 and let us call this as equation number 2. So I'll go by equation 1 by equation 2. Or tell me what is equation 1? PVV is equal to MVRVT, and by equation 2, what is equation 2? PVSV is equal to MVSRVT. I repeat, I'm going for equation 1 by equation 2. This volume, my dear students, this volume is gone. RVT is gone. So now I write MV by MVS. I repeat, MV, either MV by MVS is equal to PV by PVS. Excellent. Now, but what is MV by MVS? Relative humidity 5. So relative humidity is nothing but, look at, if you want the relative humidity, it is this partial pressure of vapor to this partial pressure of vapor under saturation condition. This partial pressure of vapor, this partial pressure under saturation conditions. My dear students, he is asking what is the Somen Datta, what is the difference between wet bulb and relative humidity? Already you have seen wet bulb temperature shows, actually I'll come to it. Wet bulb temperature actually shows the moisture content. If the wet bulb temperature is very low, in air the moisture is less. That's why in the process of absorbing more moisture, it is losing more heat. That's why the temperature is dropping down. But relative humidity is showing moisture absorbing capacity. मैं आपको बताऊंगा. So please tell me, is this derivation clear? Is this derivation clear? All of you, is this definition, I mean derivation clear? Excellent. Stop. Oh my god, yes, excellent. Now let's move to this. We have seen that, my dear students, relative humidity is equal to mass of vapor by mass of vapor under saturation conditions. This can also be written as PV by PVS. इसका मतलब ये होगा. Don't comment. Okay, I'll tell you, sir. Jay Singh, now I'm coming. See, my टॉपिक ही कंप्लीट नहीं किया सर, व्हाट इज द सिग्नल. सो आप लोग कमेंट करने में ही जा रहे हैं. फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड. सो प्लीज नोट डाउन दैट दिस इज माय actual point. Here the partial pressure is PV and here the mass of vapor is MV, and here this is my MVS and here the pressure is PVS. So omega can be written, I mean specific humidity, sorry, relative humidity can be written as PV by PVS or MV by MVS. Means partial pressure of vapor, actual partial pressure of vapor under saturation conditions. Now let us see the significance of relative humidity. Now let's see the significance of relative humidity. All of you just focus on the screen. Let us take 2 points, and you know, आप जानते हैं which pressure is more, PV or, देखो एक बार, this PVS is above, इससे ऊपर है, ये है PV, ये है PVS. So definitely upper pressure is more, PVS is more than PV. So when PVS is more than PV, phi will be how much? Less than 1. Or if my point was here, अगर मेरा पॉइंट यहाँ पे होता है मींस ऑलरेडी इट इज सैचुरेटेड. इफ इट इज ऑलरेडी सैचुरेटेड माय पीवी विल बी पीवीएस. when pv is pvs, pvs by pvs will be 1, means the maximum value of relative humidity can be 1. And let us see the minimum value. अगर मान लो air में like you can have zero relativity if there is no for dry air, if it is completely dry air. So अगर हम air है, so in air there is mass of vapor and there is mass of dry air. So observe here, originally what is the mass? Zero. So when original dry air में तो mass of vapor नहीं रहता है, so therefore it is mv by mbs. When mv is zero, relative humidity is what? Zero. So the minimum value of relative humidity is zero, which is for dry air. मतलब अगर air में कोई humidity नहीं है, it is zero. And maximum is what? Saturate. जब saturate होता है, when it is saturated, so my pv will be pvs and it is equal to what? 1 or 100%. Now have a look at this. Please observe here. Now understand carefully. We have 0.1, 0.2. Now please listen carefully. We have points 1 and 0.2. So this pressure I write it as PV1. It is which air? देखो इससे सैचुरेटेड वेपर कर्व से जब भी राइट रहता है इट इज अनसैचुरेटेड एयर. सैचुरेटेड वेपर कर्व से जब भी राइट रहता है इट इज अनसैचुरेटेड एयर. Now there is one more point, my dear students. There is one more point, that is 0.2. Now I'll write something like this. Let this pressure be PV2. Excellent. Now we know that this is our, look at इसको saturation पे लाना, and this is our saturation. So I write this as PVS. Let us calculate the relative humidity of 1. So you know what is relative humidity? PV by PVS. तो 1 के लिए PV क्या होगा? PV1. And for this for 0.1, this is saturation. So my PVS is PVS. Let us calculate phi2. Let's see what is phi2. This is 0.2. Phi2 will be what? What is phi? PV by PVS. So for 2 it is PV2 by PVS. PV2 by PVS. Excellent. Now ध्यान से सुनो, which PV is more, PV1 or PV2? देखो, this is PV1 and this is PV2. Whenever the pressure is above, it is higher. So obviously PV2 is greater than PV1. My PVS is same. Why PVS is same? 1 के लिए ये saturation है, 2 के लिए ये saturation है. So PVS is same. So please understand carefully. So now I'll write this as phi1 as PV1 by PVS, phi2 as PV2 by PVS. Which PV is more? PV2 is more. So when PV2 is more, why PV2 is more? PV1 से PV2 ऊपर है. So when PV2 is more, PVS तो दोनों में सेम है. So when PV2 is more, phi2 is greater than phi1. What does it mean? Let us see. ध्यान से सुनना. मतलब अब मैं आपको रिलेटिव ह्यूमिडिटी का सिग्निफिकेंस बताऊंगा. मेरा 0.1 यहां पे है और 0.2 यहां पे है. Means 1 is, this is my saturation point. 1 is away from saturation, 2 is close to saturation. Whenever the point is close to saturation, its relative humidity will be high. So क्योंकि PV2 is more than PV1, whenever point is close to saturation, relative humidity will be high. When the relative humidity is high, means when the relative humidity is high, means mass of vapor is high. When mass of vapor is high, it needs only little to reach saturation, so its absorbing capacity will be less. ध्यान से सुनो, ये 0.2 को saturation reach होने के लिए ये चाहिए. So for 0.2 to reach saturation, you need only this difference. For 0.1 to reach saturation, you need lot of difference. Means in which case the absorbing capacity is more, as 1 is, अरे यार आप भूख के तरस रहे, देखो आपको saturation reach होने के लिए यहाँ तक है. You are hungry. When you are hungry, you eat more, so your absorbing capacity will be more. So 0.1 is hungry, 0.2 is almost close to saturation, that's why it's not that hungry. So whenever the point is close to saturation, its absorbing capacity will be less. So relative humidity shows moisture absorbing capacity. मतलब if the point is away from saturation, so its relative humidity will be less, its absorbing capacity will be more. Kyunki as the relative humidity is less, it will absorb more. That's why absorbing capacity will be more. All of you, are you following? My dear students, all of you, are you following? I have to check. I have to check. Oh my God, 50, 40. Chalo, okay, no problem. No problem. Yes, sir, समझ में आ रहा है. Stop, stop. No, no comments. No comments. 55. Kai ko 55 comments. Chup. Now, so what is the difference between relative humidity and specific humidity? ध्यान से सुनो. Specific humidity shows specific humidity omega. It shows actual mass of vapor in certain air. ओमेगा क्या दिखाता है? एक एयर में कितना मॉइस्चर है वो दिखाता है. इन एयर हाउ मच मॉइस्चर इज देयर इट शोज. बट रिलेटिव ह्यूमिडिटी शोज मॉइस्चर absorbing capacity. If the relative humidity is less, for example, one has a relative humidity of 0.3, other has a relative humidity, let us say 0.9. इसको हम परसेंटेज में भी लिख सकते हैं, 30%, 90%. Means 0.9 is very close to saturation. When it is close to saturation, it needs very little to reach saturation, so its absorbing capacity will be less. When the point is very far, yahan hai, its relative humidity is less. When relative humidity is less, its absorbing capacity will be more. So see clearly the difference between two. Relative humidity shows absorbing capacity. If it is close to saturation, its relative humidity will be high, its absorbing capacity will be less. Omega, that is specific humidity, shows actual mass of vapor in air. So see the farak between these two. Now I'll tell you one golden point. My dear students, I'll tell you golden point. Let us say weather report. Now morning paper में देखे हम. So some place, not our place, some place the relative humidity is 98%. इसका मतलब क्या है? मतलब ध्यान से सुनो. When the relative humidity is close to 100% or more than 90-95%, means it is close to saturation. तो वो absorb नहीं करेगा. So इसीलिए such air, देखो मान लो relative humidity 98% और 100% जो भी है, तो इसमें क्या ज्यादा है? Moisture is high. That's why it is almost close to saturation. When moisture is high, when it touches clouds, क्योंकि मॉइस्चर ज्यादा है, जब भी वो क्लाउड को टच करता है क्योंकि मॉइस्चर ज्यादा है, वो कंडेंस होगा. जब कंडेंस होगा, अब ये रेन के फॉर्म में आएगा. मींस आपको इंटरव्यूज में पूछ सकते हैं एक जगह पे रिलेटिव ह्यूमिडिटी ज्यादा है, तो क्या आप गेस कर सकते हैं 98, 99%, तो क्या गेस कर सकते हैं उस एरिया में एज द रिलेटिव ह्यूमिडिटी इज हाई, the moisture content is high, means it is close to saturation. Means when it is close to saturation, मतलब इतना खाए, इतना खाने के बाद पूरा भरपूर खा लिए, अब थोड़ा लेने नहीं ले सकते, क्या होगा? बाहर आएगा. That's why it is coming in the form of rain. So whenever you see relative humidity high, there is a chance of rain, or it may be raining also. All of you, are you following? My dear students, all of you, are you following? All of you, all of you, all of you. Okay, excellent, 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 excellent. Please stop now. So this is relative humidity. This is relative humidity. So understand carefully, understand carefully. So what is relative humidity? It shows moisture absorbing capacity. It shows moisture absorbing capacity. और ओमेगा क्या शो करता है? एक्चुअल. तो रिलेटिव ह्यूमिडिटी के वैल्यूज क्या होंगे? 0 से लेकर 100 तक होगा. सॉरी, 0 to 1, or if it is in percentage, 0% to 100%. These are my relative humidity values, range I would say. Now, my dear students, I'm not touching the enthalpy. So enthalpy of moisture, चलो आपको चाहिए तो अभी बताऊंगा, क्योंकि now when you come to my regular classes, there I'll tell you the physical significance of enthalpy, then extensive property, intensive property. Extensive है तो ऐड करना है, तो वहां से आऊंगा. So purposefully I'm leaving enthalpy part. अगर चाहिए तो मैं बताऊंगा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. So purposefully I'm leaving because चलो I repeat, now observe here. Let us, चलो आपके लिए मैं बताऊंगा, वो भी बताऊंगा. चलो enthalpy. Enthalpy of moist air. Enthalpy of moist air. Let me designate it with capital H. Enthalpy of moist air. When I go to actual thermodynamics, I'll be giving you the physical significance of enthalpy as microscopic form of energy of flowing fluid. ये सब मैं बाद में बताऊंगा. अब because this course is totally different, it's a special चाहिए सौरभ आनंद, चलो दे देंगे, don't worry. My dear students, in thermodynamics we'll be seeing two types of properties, intensive and extensive. I repeat, intensive and extensive. For example, let us take volume. Let us take volume. तो इस पोर्शन का वॉल्यूम V1 मान लो, इस पोर्शन का V2, ये तो यूनिफॉर्म है, तो यहाँ का भी टेम्परेचर क्या होगा, सेम होगा. तो जब भी आप पार्टीशन करते हैं तो इंटेंसिव प्रॉपर्टीज चेंज नहीं होंगे, एक्सटेंसिव प्रॉपर्टीज विल चेंज. इफ यू वांट द टोटल वॉल्यूम इट विल बी इक्वल टू V1 plus V2. So if you want the total volume of the system, it is the summation of individual subsystems V1 and V2. तो अगर आपको कभी भी टोटल एक्सटेंसिव प्रॉपर्टी चाहिए, इट इज ऑलवेज सम ऑफ दिस. enthalpy is enthalpy is enthalpy is an extensive property that I'll be discussing in thermodynamics. I repeat, enthalpy is an extensive property. Why it is an extensive property, it will be discussed in thermodynamics. Right now I'll not tell. Okay, now let us take moist air. This is our moist air. Okay, now in moist air there is some water vapor, there is some dry air. So let HV be the enthalpy of vapor, HA be the enthalpy of dry air. I repeat, HV is enthalpy of vapor, HA is enthalpy of dry air. Whenever I say moist air, it is the total. So if you want the total enthalpy of moist air, it is an extensive property. Which one is extensive property? Enthalpy is an extensive property. So therefore I will write it as, whenever you want total extensive property, it is the sum of individual extensive properties. So the enthalpy of vapor is HV, enthalpy of dry air is HA. So this, now I write this as enthalpy of moist air. Moist means what? Total air. Enthalpy of moist air. So observe here. I repeat, my dear students. I repeat, enthalpy is an extensive property. If you want the total extensive property, it is sum of the individual properties. So in air, what do we have? There is dry air, there is water vapor. So total is HA plus HV. Partha, I'm teaching in English only, na? I'm teaching in English only. So when I use Hindi, first I teach English in English, then I use Hindi. Okay, fine. When I use English, they say Hindi. When I use Hindi, they say, ये क्या है रे नमूने, आप भी मजाक उड़ा रहे मेरा और मुझे सता रहे नमूने. Okay, now have a look at this. Please observe here. There is one term known as specific enthalpy. I repeat, specific enthalpy. Right? Specific enthalpy is nothing but total enthalpy per unit mass. I repeat, specific enthalpy, this is total enthalpy, this is specific. Specific का मतलब होता है per unit mass. अब देखो, now you see, now I write specific enthalpy of dry air. So what will be this? So it will be enthalpy of dry air by mass of dry air. If you want capital HA, it will be MAHA, and if you want capital HV, it will be MVHV. I repeat, small h specific enthalpies, capital H total enthalpies. Whenever you are writing summation, it should be for total. Total volume is volume of this, volume of this. So now we'll go to this. Now I write capital H is equal to total enthalpy of moist air is enthalpy of dry air plus enthalpy of water vapor. Excellent. But just now you saw capital HA is MAHA and capital HV is MV small hv. So let us substitute here. Capital H is equal to HA. What is HA? MAHA plus what is HV? MVHV. Excellent. Can anyone tell what is capital H? Can anyone tell what is capital H? I'm waiting. Can anyone tell what is capital H? Oh my God, no one is commenting. No, total enthalpy. Very good. Chirag bhai, very good. It is the total enthalpy of moist air. You should write clearly. Total enthalpy of moist air. Moist air का मुझे वही calculate करना है. अब please. Now don't comment. Now, so आपको बताया था मैं, in psychrometry or air conditioning, all calculations are based on fixed part. So which one is fixed part? Dry air. तो इसलिए मैं क्या कर रहा हूं, capital H is equal to MAHA plus MVHV. Same equation. Okay, now I divide both sides with MA. then only the value doesn't change. MA. Why are you dividing with MA? Because all my calculations are based on dry air, because it is the fixed part. Please ध्यान से सुनो. This, please note down that this capital H is total enthalpy of moist air. Okay. Now, this I write capital H by MA, I write it as small h. Please note down that the meaning of small h is capital H. So I write this is capital H by MA. You should be very cautious. बहुत careful रहना है. This is capital H by MA. This is the enthalpy of moist air. Enthalpy of moist air per kg dry air is small h. Now tell me in small h. In small h, we have included the total enthalpy of moist air, but we are expressing it for 1 kg of dry air. I repeat. In small h, it is capital H by MA. Capital H consists of what? Total enthalpy of moist air. Means in small h में there is total enthalpy of moist air, but we are expressing it per kg of dry air. And now I write it as, इसको सेपरेट करना, you divide MA, इसको डिवाइड करना इसको, तो ये होगा MAHA by MA plus MVHV by MA. Excellent. So now my dear students, now MA is gone. So therefore now please note down what is MV by MA. Already I have told in my last class. So this I write it as H is equal to, listen, H is equal to, what is this? HA plus MV by MA is omega, that is specific humidity or absolute humidity or humidity ratio, into HV. This is one of the important equations. Now have a look at this. This H is total enthalpy of moist air per kg of dry air. Per kg of dry air. So this is my wonderful equation. Capital H, small h is all is what? इसमें total enthalpy है किसका? Dry air और water vapor मिला के, लेकिन वो total हम 1 kg dry air से express कर रहे हैं. Now, please observe, and you know that dry air, it is an ideal gas. So in thermodynamics, we'll be saying for ideal gas, enthalpy can be written as Cp into T. Enthalpy can be written as what? Cp into T. Now, enthalpy. So actually, whenever you measure energies, energy is always measured with respect to some reference line, datum reference line. But that reference can be arbitrary. What do you mean by that? For example, इधर देखना, मैं ये reference लिया, एक point यहाँ पे है और एक point यहाँ पे है, और मैं दूसरा reference लिया, ये है. So my dear students, whether you take this reference or this reference, so for this is the distance, for this is the distance, and इसके लिए this is the distance, and इसके लिए this is the distance. Whether I take this reference or this reference, the difference between these two will be absolutely same. Are you following or not? So whether I take this reference or this reference, whether I take this reference or I'm coming, sir. बहुत अच्छा सवाल पूछे. T is in Celsius और Kelvin, यही तो important है, यही तो important, इसलिए मैं आ रहा हूं ना. That's why मेरा ground prepare कर रहा हूं. Look at it. So whether I take this reference or this reference, the distance between these two will be same. So therefore reference is only arbitrary. मैं ये बोल रहा हूं, the distance between Hyderabad and Secunderabad, whether I measure from Delhi or from Bombay, the distance between Hyderabad and Secunderabad will be same. Reference may be anything. If I measure from Bombay, number of kilometers will be different for Hyderabad, number of kilometers will be different for Secunderabad, but the distance between Hyderabad and Secunderabad will be same. So reference is only arbitrary. So अब देखो, so for dry air, 0 degrees centigrade is the reference temperature. Means at this temperature, the enthalpy of dry air at 0 degrees centigrade, हम enthalpy को 0 मानते हैं, मानना है. Just only please observe, at 0 degrees centigrade, I repeat, at 0 degrees centigrade, the enthalpy, I write here, at 0 degrees centigrade, enthalpy of dry air is taken as 0. Means ध्यान से सुनो, तो ये मेरा रेफरेंस होगा, दिस इज माय रेफरेंस, दिस इज 0 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड. बट प्लीज नोट डाउन दैट my dry air or water vapor, it is at what temperature? Dry bulb temperature. I repeat, so at 0 degree, see, so my air is not at 0 degree centigrade. My air, say for example 25 degree centigrade, that is our dry bulb temperature, means my air is somewhere here. So this is the reference. So ye hai, lekin this is my actual air. Actual air, this temperature is dry bulb temperature. Now observe here, my dear students, enthalpy is equal to cpt, and this t should be in Kelvin. This t should be in Kelvin. अब देखना, ध्यान से सुनो. So reference is this. So I read. So whenever it is reference का मतलब यहाँ जीरो मान लिए, तो ये यहाँ से मेजर कर रहे हैं, तो हमें क्या लेना है? डिफरेंस लेना है. Whenever you take difference, whether it is Kelvin or degree Celsius, it will be same. For example, इसको केल्विन में कन्वर्ट करना, सो 273 केल्विन, 0 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड, इसमें केल्विन में कन्वर्ट करना 273 प्लस टी. ओके, नाउ सो एंथैल्पी ऑफ ड्राई एयर आई राइट इट एज CPA, क्योंकि रेफरेंस देखो यहां से यहां, तो व्हाट इज द टेम्परेचर इन केल्विन? 273 प्लस टी. लेकिन रेफरेंस क्या है? सो इफ दिस इज इन केल्विन, दिस शुड आल्सो बी इन केल्विन. ये क्या है? 273 plus T. Okay, so this is gone. So you have small t. So HA is equal to CPA into small t. But already you know this small t is in what? Degree centigrade. मतलब, so actually ये difference है. Whenever it is difference, whether you take Kelvin or degree Celsius, it is what? Same. So अगर आप difference लेंगे, T minus 0 क्या होगा? T होगा. अगर Kelvin में ले रहे 273 plus T minus 0 is what? 273. Again it will be T. इसका मतलब क्या है? Whether you take it in Kelvin or degree Celsius, you will get the same thing. So as the reference is 0 degree centigrade, मेरा HA हो जाएगा actually CPA into, if this is in centigrade, this should also be in centigrade because this is the reference. हम यहां से, अगर ये केल्विन में है तो केल्विन में कितना होगा? 273 प्लस टी होगा. अगर ये केल्विन में लेना है तो 273 होगा. एंड अगेन इट इज टी बचा है, t minus 0 क्या? T. So where small t is the temperature in degree centigrade. That's why the enthalpy of dry air is CPA into small t. ध्यान से सुनो, देखो CPA 273 plus T minus 273, 273 क्या? T आया. So but small t is in degree centigrade. So please observe carefully. It is actually difference हो रहा है, इसलिए whether it is centigrade or are you following, my dear students? All of you, are you following? All of you, are you following? Yes. So therefore, now I write this is the dry bulb temperature in degree centigrade. So actually ये क्या है? ये क्या है? T minus 0, क्योंकि रेफरेंस 0 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड है. So therefore, my enthalpy of dry air is CPA into T, where T is dry bulb temperature in degree centigrade. Actually, it is in Kelvin only, but Kelvin difference है, वो कहां से difference है? 0 degree reference है. So as 0 is the reference, T minus 0 will be T only. So therefore it is. So we have calculated the enthalpy of dry air. Now let us calculate the enthalpy of water vapor. So we have an equation of H as already have derived, HA plus omega HV. Already we have calculated this as CPAT, where T is dry bulb temperature, dBT in degree centigrade. Now let us calculate HV. What is HV? Enthalpy of water vapor. So my dear students, ध्यान से सुनो. How is water vapor in air existing? Water vapor in air is existing in superheated state. Means this is my water vapor. And whether it is water vapor or dry air, its temperature is same. Let T degree centigrade be the dry bulb temperature in degree centigrade. ध्यान से सुनो. ये मेरा, this is the state of water vapor in air. This is the state of water vapor in air, and water vapor or dry air, its temperature is T, that is dry bulb temperature. Now, my dear students, we take this as a reference state. This is my reference. Matlab, this is my 0 degree centigrade. This is my 0 degree centigrade. Means, kabhi bhi energy. See, for dry air, the reference is 0 degree centigrade. For vapor, वेपर लिक्विड, मतलब वेपर जब कंडेंस हो रहा है तो लिक्विड में हो रहा है, when it may be in liquid state or vapor state. So therefore now we take this is arbitrary, मतलब randomly taken, arbitrary, this is my reference state. लेकिन my vapor is not here, this is the reference state. my अरे मतलब यहां से एनर्जीज मेजर कर रहे हैं, but my vapor is here, its actual temperature is T. So what am I supposed to do? My vapor is not, see, this is the reference, तो यहां से इधर और यहां से इधर, means I have to take this energy and this energy, I have to take this energy and this energy. This is known as latent heat. This is known as latent heat. And this is, what is this temperature my dear students? ये कौन सा temperature है? This is 0 degree centigrade. And what is this temperature? Actual T degree centigrade. So now it is in vapor state. In vapor state we can treat it as what? Ideal gas. So ये ideal gas क्या होगा? So total enthalpy of vapor will be, this is my reference, from here you have to measure, from here you have to measure, it will be this plus this, it will be this plus this, because this is the reference. So this will be latent heat plus, now this is vapor, so don't write CPA, it is vapor, it is CPV. Enthalpy of vapor is, for ideal gas I can write CPT. So now again it is the difference in temperature. So whenever it is different in temperature, Kelvin or degree Celsius, it will be same. What is the difference now? T degree centigrade minus 0 degree centigrade, T minus 0. So this will be enthalpy of vapor is latent heat plus Cp of vapor into T. Again this is 0 degree centigrade, and again this is dry bulb temperature in degree centigrade. So this is dBT in degree centigrade. So I got the enthalpy of vapor. Now you have this equation my dear students, and you have this equation. So enthalpy of moist air is given by enthalpy of dry air. What is enthalpy of dry air? CPA into T, and the specific heat of dry air is 1.005 kilojoule per kg Kelvin, plus ये तो HA हो गया, plus omega into HV. What is HV? This one, that is LH plus CPV into T. Again T is, again this T is dry bulb temperature in degree centigrade, because 0 is the reference, difference will be same. And most of the students by heart the equation. So no, actually this is generally 2500 kilojoule per kg, and for vapor the specific heat is about 1.88. So therefore now I write enthalpy of moist air, H is equal to, I'm writing this equation, CPAT, Dr. Pushpendra, good evening, plus omega into latent heat. What is latent heat? 2500 plus Cp of vapor is 1.88 into T. This is my final equation. But the problem is, some students by heart this equation, but exam में क्या करेगा? He will give latent heat something different. So you remember 2500, आप रट के यही लिखते हैं. In exam he gives 2420, and you rate 2500. So be careful, and you should remember this equation. And you remember this specific heat of vapor as 1.88. Sometimes he gives us at 1.91. So this is my important equation. This is my important equation. If nothing is given, I take latent heat as 2500, CPV as 1.88. All of you, have you followed? All of you, have you followed? Oh, great. Stop. Now, please observe. My final equation is, stop. My final equation is enthalpy of moist air is CPAT plus omega into 2500, if nothing is given, plus 1.88 T. This is my final equation. This is my final equation. This is my final equation. So therefore, so we have seen different parameters. We have seen different parameters. Okay, fine. Yes, I know that specific heat depends on temperature. Absolutely. But the variation is not that high in the given temperature changes. That's why 1.88, 1.91, 1.912 थोड़ा बहुत फर्क होता है. इसलिए मैं आपको बोला था रटो मत आप. Yeah, so my fundamental equation is H is equal to CPAT plus omega into latent heat plus Cp of vapor into T. This must be your equation. Excellent, my dear students. Excellent. Can anyone tell what is H? Now tell me what is H. Anyone? Perfect meaning I want. Anyone? What is H? Small h. Anyone? Waiting for your answers. Waiting for your answers. What is small h? Oh my god, no one is giving. Total enthalpy of moist air. No, 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 no. Total enthalpy of moist air per kg of what? Per kg of dry air. Excellent, 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 excellent. So it is total enthalpy of moist air per kg of dry air. Now, before I go for a degree of saturation, I'll go for a degree of saturation. I go for development of psychrometric chart. देखो एक बार. Now we'll go to the development of psychrometric chart. My dear students, before I go, I'll go for development of psychrometric chart. Now please have patience. Development of psychrometric chart. Right. Now, very good. ध्यान से सुनिए, बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. So shall I take 10 more minutes? Shall I take 10 more minutes? बोलो जी, बोलो रे नमूने. Shall I take 10 more minutes? Yes, 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 yes. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, please. Oh, take 1 hour. No, 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 no. Please, please. Now, अब comment मत करना. Now we are going for development of psychrometric chart. Please stop. Let's go to our fundamentals. Go to our fundamentals. Please, please. My dear students, how is water vapor in air existing? Water vapor is sir fluid करा दीजिए sir please. Fluid तो कल शुरू हो रहा है 23rd. From tomorrow it's a regular fluid class. It's not free class. You have to subscribe, and it is from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Mind blowing with practical applications, around 400 plus numericals, all and complete notes. All notes will be given to you every day notes. Chalo, no issues at all. And now observe here. Let us take this case. अब कोई मत लिखो. I have told you that this diagram, when I draw, it is for vapor which is present in air, because dry air is not undergoing phase. It is the vapor which is undergoing. So I will write this as some temperature T1, which is, now here I write it as PV1. I'll go for another. Be careful. I write this temperature as T2 and this pressure as PV2. Take one more. I take this as T3 and this is PV3. Observation. मुझे बताओ which pressure is more. ऊपर ऊपर जब जा रहा है, so PV1 से PV2 is more, from PV2 से PV3 is more. So I write PV3 is greater than PV2 is greater than PV1. Next, which temperature is more? ये तो T axis है, so obviously T3 is greater than T2 is greater than T1. So now let's write corresponding. Please, please, Rakesh Brar, don't comment. Okay, corresponding to PV3, what is the saturation temperature? T3. Corresponding to PV2, what is the saturation temperature? T2. Corresponding to PV1, what is the saturation temperature? T1. So look at PV1 का है T1, PV2 का है T2 and PV3 का है T3. Excellent. Very good. Now, what I do is I will take another figure. तो एक काम करते हैं, इसको थोड़ा right. Okay, here I take T and here I take PV, partial pressure of vapor. Look at it. PV1 का corresponding क्या है? T1. So if it is PV1 and the corresponding temperature is T1. So for PV1 saturation, this is saturation is T1. This is my point. Which pressure is more, PV1 or PV2? Compared to PV1, PV2 is more. Compared to PV1, PV2 is more. And this is my PV2. So PV1 से PV2 is more. And T1 से T2 is more. T1 से T2 is more. Yes. And similarly, compared to PV2, PV3 is more. Compared to PV2, PV3 is more. Okay. And compared to, this is T2. And compared to T2, T3 is more. T3 is above. So T2 say T3 is more. So these are my points. Please note down that all these are saturation, saturation, saturation. Now you draw a curve passing through this. This is known as saturation curve. Excellent. This is known as what curve? Saturation curve. Excellent. Now, please observe. This is known as saturation curve. So let me redraw. Let me redraw. Here we have temperature, and here we have partial pressure of vapor. And this is the curve that I got. And this curve, I call it as what curve? Saturation curve. Why do we call it as saturation curve? Because I have taken all these temperature, saturation, saturation, saturation. So saturation curve. Now observe here. How is water vapor in air existing? So water vapor is existing here. Water vapor is existing here. Water vapor is existing here. Means it is existing in what? Superheated state. I repeat. So if you see this, how is air mein dekho? In air, water vapor is in what state? You are not seeing it as liquid. It is in vapor state. Means it is in this state. It is in vapor state. It is in this state. It is in this state. Now you draw one curve. How is water vapor existing? This state, it is known as superheated. Right. Now, please observe. Now draw a constant pressure line passing through this. And we know that this is my actual temperature. And you cut this constant pressure line here, and this temperature is known as saturation temperature. This is known as saturation. Please observe. If the point is here in this region, for that particular pressure, its temperature will be always above the saturation. So I draw this. This is saturation. And the point is here, means this temperature is more. So whenever the point is in this region, its actual temperature is what? Its actual temperature is more than saturation. Yes, saturation se zyada hai. When the point is in this region, we call it as subcooled or undercooled region. Why it is called as subcooled undercooled region? ये थर्मो में बताऊंगा. Here, तो यहाँ का टेम्परेचर क्या होगा? सैचुरेशन से कम होगा. जब सैचुरेशन से, but please note that all points are along the same pressure. So for a given pressure, when the point is below saturation, when the temperature is below, it will be in liquid region. When the point is above saturation, it is in superheated. Means, now can you tell me what is this line? It is a constant pressure line. It is a constant pressure line. So on this diagram, here the pressure is constant. So if you are drawing a constant pressure line, it will be horizontal. Observe, here the coordinate is temperature, here the coordinate is pressure. So this is my, as the pressure is constant, I write like this. Now when the pressure line is cutting here, this it is the saturation curve. That's why this temperature I call it as saturation. When the temperature is less, ये saturation है, saturation से कम है, ये है, so this will be liquid region. When the temperature is more than saturation, this is more than saturation, this is more than saturation, it is less than saturation. When it is more than saturation, this is in vapor state or superheated state. Now tell me, how is water vapor existing? It is existing not in liquid state. It is not in liquid state. It is existing in what state? Vapor state. Vapor state. ये मेरा water vapor जो air में है, इस state में है. तो मैं इसमें आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन दिस बिकॉज वाटर वेपर इन एयर इज नॉट इन लिक्विड स्टेट, इट इज इन वेपर स्टेट. सो सेम लाइन मैं यहां खींच रहा हूं, same PV line I'm drawing here. So now, my dear students, so please observe here. Please observe. Same line I'm drawing. देखो एक बार. So you see, this is my line. This is my line. Now understand carefully. I have drawn like this. So please note down that this is my saturation. And this is above saturation. When it is above, this is all vapor state or superheated. So this is superheated or vapor state. And you know this is the liquid state. And you know how is water vapor in air existing? Water vapor in air is not existing in liquid state. So यहाँ पे PV है, यहाँ पे temperature है. This is temperature and this is PV. So I'm not interested in this region. I'm not interested in this region. I'm interested in this region. So same PV line को मैं इधर लाता हूँ. So this is my PV. So I'm interested in this. I'm interested in this region. I'm interested in this region. I'm interested in this region. I'm interested in this region because water vapor is existing in superheated region. So now, my dear students, if I draw, this will be my PV, and this is my already temperature. And this is the saturation curve, and we are playing in this region. And this is my original psychrometric chart, and this is our saturation curve. This is our what curve? Saturation. And already have told you, under saturation conditions, relative humidity is how much? 100%, because phi is equal to PV by PVS. When it is already saturated, PV because PVS, so ये 1 होगा. So this will be 1, this will be 1. So 1 means what? 100%. So for saturation, relative humidity is 100%. This is saturation curve. But my dear students, on the first day of this class, I told you omega is 0.622 PV by P total minus PV. So atmospheric pressure is constant, 0.622 is constant. So omega depends only on partial pressure of vapor. So omega किस पे depend हो रहा है? PV पे. So instead of PV, I write omega because omega is, or PV is depending, or omega is depending only on PV. So therefore, my new psychrometric chart, PV is replaced with what? Omega. So my new psychrometric chart is omega. Here temperature, which we call it as dry bulb temperature, and this is saturation. So we are playing in this region because it is a superheated region. All of you, my dear students, have you followed? All of you, have you followed? All of you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Awesome. 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 Excellent response. Excellent response. Excellent. Excellent. So this is the development of, oh my God, 70 plus, 70 plus, happy, happy. So this is the development of psychrometric chart. This is the development of psychrometric chart. And my class tomorrow, I don't know when my special class is there. मैं आपको एक बात बताऊंगा. So I'll tell you one thing. एक second, 1 second, please. So I'll tell you one thing, my dear students. Yeah. So you follow me on Praveen Kulkarni came. This is my page, or Praveen Kulkarni. It's my profile. You cannot I cannot add you already. 7 years, 8 years ago itself, 5,000 वो तो block हो गया. It's a Facebook page. It's a Facebook page, and we also have Kulkarni's Academy of Mechanical Engineering came. So all, like, whenever I'm adding like online special classes, I'll be posting on these 3. So therefore, you can please like if you want. I'm not forcing anyone. So if you want, you can add. I mean, you can like and you can see the developments like whenever my class is announced. So I'll be posting on this, and so I'll be taking offline classroom classes only at Kulkarni's Academy of Mechanical Engineering. And my batch is coming in the month of March, April. So my limit is only 300, only 300. So, and on this platform, I'll be taking, and online classes I'll be taking only on this platform. That is, I'll be taking 9 subjects. That is, again, I'm telling you, thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, heat transfer, strength of materials, machine design, IC engines, power plant engineering, turbo machinery, or hydraulic machinery, RAC. These are the things I'll be taking. And yeah, it's in Hyderabad. Okay, but here on this platform online, I'll be taking all these subjects online. And it's my promise key, every subject has its own beauty. Apart from concepts, I'll be giving you a lot of numericals, practical applications. So tomorrow my regular class is coming. That is regular class, not special class. And yeah, production I'll be taking. In production I'll be teaching only metal forming. So honestly, I don't know about other areas, so I'll be teaching only metal forming in production. And look at, now have a look at this. So you can use PK006 code as the referral code for getting 10% off. कल मैं class start करूंगा sharp 8 o'clock. It will, आप थोड़े लेट आए, पहले आना था। अरे यार, लेट आए तो लेटेस्ट आए ना, क्यों चिंता कर रहे हैं आप? So please now, my dear students, and one more thing I'm telling you, okay, tomorrow, that is 23rd October, my regular FM class, beautiful FM class, will start from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, right. And special classes I'll be announcing on my, these three came, Praveen Kulkarni came. You can kindly follow that, no issues at all. So hope you have enjoyed. And one more thing, so kindly message me. So if you really like classes 78931909007, you can please message me, so it motivates us. If you loved classes, kindly message on this. So I, sir, nahi sir, कुछ month पहले आना था, क्या करे यार, आ गए ना. Actually I was supposed to come, but anyway, because my focus is my offline classes at came. So evening I'm free, so I'll be taking on this platform. So definitely I'll try my level best to give you the best. So God bless you all. Good night, and tomorrow we'll meet for regular class at 8 p.m. It's not free class. So free classes I'll be uploading on this. Okay, na? Chalo. So like, which subject do you want special class? You can message me on this number. Which subject, किस subject का special class चाहिए, आप इस number पे SMS करो. So I'll take care, maximum जो बताते हैं उसका मैं free class लूंगा. So don't worry. Thank you. Good night. All the best. God bless you. चलो, goodbye. Bye bye.